Clash Mini is doing something that I never thought Supercell would ever do in a game. They are removing power from the game and they're going 100% free to play. I'm like in actual complete disbelief. And honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. There is a part of me that has me feeling a little worried about the game's longevity, but a much bigger part of me is super hyped. Let's talk details. But first, I wanted to let you know that all of the gameplay in this video is a work in progress from the developers, and there's probably going to be some big changes before this next update actually releases. All the information from this video comes from the Smol Talk, where he and Paula discuss the update that Clash Mini is currently working on. And the biggest change coming to the game is a complete elimination of power progression. And when I say complete elimination, like it's just being removed from the game. Once you unlock a mini or a hero, it's maxed out. Done. Very competitive. Every Barbarian King has the same amount of power whether you've just downloaded the game or you've been playing for years. You don't need to get 3 stars for your minis to be able to like fully utilize all their abilities, and upgrading your heroes won't give you a competitive advantage at all. Is Clash Mini even like a Supercell game anymore? Like, why? I like what I'm hearing here. Now, levels are going to stay. So if you have some upgraded minis or heroes, you will get rewards for them, but the levels won't give you power, okay? Instead, they will unlock new fun rewards. At least that's what they said in the video. We don't have specifics of what those new fun rewards. Well, we have some specifics, but from what I could tell, upgrading your minis will give you new cosmetics for those minis. So if you upgrade the Barbarian King, you'll get Barbarian King cosmetics, I guess. We're talking emotes, avatars, skins, but way more important than that, it sounds like leveling up your minis will be the key to unlocking new minis. Based off the gameplay footage that we saw, I think that when you upgrade a mini, then you get more experience on your account, and the more experience on your account, the higher you level up, and that unlocks the ability to unlock new minis. So for most people, it seems like the whole reason to keep progressing in the game is going to be just unlocking minis, and people who like cosmetics will also be rewarded. What's really interesting though is that each mini is going to be placed into a specific set. It looks like each set has 1 hero and 7 minis, including a special hidden mini. We don't know exactly what the hidden special mini is. It's just that we know that it's special. From the sounds of it, progression is going to be very streamlined. So everyone will start the game with the same beginner set of minis, and when you complete that set, the next set becomes available for you to start unlocking. And the more sets that you unlock, the more advanced sets you start to unlock, where you get minis that like have a really big impact on the game and are a little bit more unique, a little bit more complex, difficult to play, but also really fun to master. And maybe, I don't know about like more competitive, but like just different than and more complex. Now, I also believe that these sets have in-battle bonuses, which I'm really hyped about, but we're gonna circle back to that later in this video. First, we need to talk about how you'll actually unlock new minis and how progression will work now that progression no longer makes your minis stronger. In Smol Talk, they said that we will have access to a gallery that will showcase all our cosmetics in the game. At the top, it shows paintings. It also shows skins, boards, emotes, and avatars. Now, from what I can tell, it seems like the whole purpose is to play the game to then unlock cosmetics that will then help complete sets in your paintings or your gallery or whatever. And the more sets that you complete in the gallery, the more resources you'll passively get every single day. Those resources might be experience needed to unlock new minis. It may be even resources to unlock more cosmetics, maybe some gems in some way. We don't know for sure. And from the sounds of it, this actually may be how you unlock new boards. Currently, when you log into the game, you just like have a random board and it's just like there, right? But I guess we'll be able to choose our boards when we enter. And as an example, they mentioned that if you unlock all the shipwrecked skins, it could then unlock the shipwrecked board. And honestly, this is a really unique system because it actually rewards you in a big way for unlocking as many cosmetics as you can, other than the fact that you just want to like have a cosmetic. Because from what it sounds like, the higher level your gallery is, the more passive rewards that you get, and you just log in to collect them, which is really cool. As the game is right now, you probably only care about unlocking 1 good skin for every single mini. But after the update, you're going to want to unlock all of the skins for all of the minis to complete their corresponding sets. And the more sets you complete, the more XP you get, which will unlock more units for you to use in battle, which will then help you unlock more sets. And the crazy thing is, those units will immediately be maxed out as soon as you unlock them. This is like amazing. This is insane. It is literally the free-to-play player dream. But I do still have some concerns. Before I talk about those concerns, I want to circle back to something that I mentioned earlier. Let's talk about in-battle bonuses for placing multiple minis from the same set in battle. Before I talk about this, I just want to be super clear that this is entirely speculation. They didn't even talk about it in this Smol Talk, but they did give us some work in progress gameplay that we could show you during this video, and I think that I see like some sneak peeks in it. So before each battle starts, you'll notice a bunch of icons on the left side of the board. Now, I've played a lot of auto battlers like Auto Chess and Teamfight Tactics and a few others actually, and these little icons remind me a lot of game mechanics that are in pretty much every other auto battler that I've played. In Teamfight Tactics, they're called synergies and origins. In Auto Chess, they're called classes and species. Basically, every character has attributes that are assigned to them based off of like how they work. And if you play multiple characters with the same attributes from that same set, you get a set bonus. And these set bonuses actually change the game. Like they might give you a buff to all of your melee characters. They might give you like additional range to all of your ranged characters. They might do other random things in Clash Mini. Like they might be like charge up your super faster. They might do all sorts of things. Now in these auto battlers though, these set bonuses are really game changing and some of them are stronger than others, but usually the strongest bonuses are the hardest to complete because it requires multiple characters from the same set, like up to 6 or 8 in other auto battlers, which you don't have 8 minis in Clash Mini, but you get the idea. Now, I don't know if that's what these icons mean, but I think it's pretty obvious, right? We don't know what the set bonuses are or how strong they'll be, but I counted 7 different icons from 2 of the matches that they actually gave us to be able to show you guys. If I'm right about this, the next Clash Mini update isn't just going to have a huge impact on the game's progression experience and how you unlock new minis and stuff, it's also going to have a huge impact on gameplay, which I'm super hyped for, but I am a little bit concerned. One thing I'm worried about with these set bonuses is that they're either going to be too strong or too confusing, or there won't be like enough of them, right? Like my hope is that you could create a random deck and it's just gonna have some automatic set bonuses just built right into it because you have a lot of different attributes to a lot of different minis and stuff like that. The thing is in Auto Chess and Teamfight Tactics and other auto battlers that I've played, the synergies between all of the troops is just way too confusing and it's really overwhelming for new players to understand. I don't want that to be the case in Clash Mini. One big reason for this whole confusion in these other games is that the set bonuses are absolutely critical to winning because so many of them are just like so strong. You can't just go with like, you know, the characters that are the most attractive or like the characters that like look the coolest. Like you have to specifically select characters from specific classes so that you will create these specific combos so that you can actually beat your opponents. It's like, it's really confusing and difficult to grasp, but I think it works in those other games because those other games actually have more troops, so you can build more bonuses with 2 troops. The bigger bonuses get at 4 troops, and even bigger bonuses at 6, 8. I don't know, maybe some of those auto battlers have 10 troops. I don't remember, it's been a while, but it does work for those other games because matches are really long and you build the deck as you go, like as you play. But my biggest criticism for those games, and the reason why I think they really didn't become streamlined like in crazy popular, is because they're way too confusing and difficult to get into. And a big reason why I've been such a big fan of Clash Mini, and it is my favorite auto battler right from the start, is because Clash Mini has short matches. It's really simple, you get it. So my biggest hope is that these set bonuses aren't too confusing, they aren't too strong or anything like that. I just hope that they feel like little small bonuses rather than necessary to win. Like you should be able to just go and select all those waifu minis and just put them on the board and like should like generally be able to do well with, even if you're facing off against somebody that's using these synergies. You get the idea. Although a waifu set with really fun bonuses could be interesting. Honestly though, I'm really not too worried about this. I've really come to trust the Clash Mini team's decisions, and they've built the game to be more simple than other auto battlers for a reason. And honestly, they're taking a huge risk in making Clash Mini Supercell's most free-to-play friendly game, not even close. But doing that does come with some risks. So I do want to share some of my concerns with this update, because pretty much everything that I've already talked about, like, it's just awesome. It's incredible. No more paying for power, a more streamlined experience to unlock new minis and cosmetics, set bonuses that increase the game's strategic depth at the competitive level. It's like my Clash Mini dream come true, which is actually why I'm so concerned. Because at the end of the day, Clash Mini needs to make enough money or they just can't go global. It does not matter how many people play the game. Supercell has to pay their developers to further develop Clash Mini. They have to pay for servers. They have to pay for marketing. I want them to pay to like produce, merch and stuff like that. They have to make money to develop future games. They have to. It's just, Supercell's originally a business. Yes, they try to really make awesome games that we can all enjoy for free, but they do need to make revenue or they cannot continue producing games because everybody would be out of a job and they'd have to go do something else. This is just a fact. In fact, I get the feeling that Brawl Stars is struggling to generate revenue compared to Clash Royale and Clash of Clans because the game is so friendly to free-to-play players, which is why I think they've been experimenting with monetizing brawlers and hypercharges with early access. I know this video is not about Brawl Stars, but Frank somewhat recently did explain in a tweet that while cosmetics do help with monetization, it is nowhere near how successful monetizing power has been in Brawl Stars. And if Clash Mini is no longer monetizing power, I am concerned that they won't be able to justify going global with the game, no matter how amazing the game is. And that really scares me because I genuinely do love playing Clash Mini. I really want it to go global. And this might sound like a strong statement, but hear me out here. I'm just saying that the game going global is more important, right? I think that makes sense. I think pretty much everybody watching this video would agree to that, at least to some extent. With that said, I absolutely think it is possible for the game to become extremely popular and profitable without monetizing power. Just take a look at League of Legends and Fortnite. Those are two games that revolutionized the gaming industry without monetizing power. So let me speculate on how I think Clash Mini is going to do just that. And this really is entirely speculation on my part, just based off of how I think monetizing Clash Mini could work without selling power. First of all, obvious ways to monetize it are cosmetics. Skins, boards, emotes, avatars, that makes sense. I don't really have a ton to add except for the fact that if they're going to not sell power, I think that does justify selling incredible cosmetics at a higher price than we're used to in most mobile games, including Brawl Stars. I do think they need to find a price point that does make sense for their players, and they absolutely need to make those cosmetics look worth the price, but expensive cosmetics is a good trade-off if they're not going to sell power. The second obvious content to monetize are season passes. As for what they would offer in season passes, they could include experience. They could make it so you could unlock new minis early by using the purchase or the season pass or something like that. I would hope that they would make the season passes purchasable with in-game premium currency like gems rather than requiring in-app purchases. But if they're going to be selling power, as much as I hate to say it, I could see in-app purchases being another justified trade-off. I do think it's annoying when you buy like $100 worth of gems and then they require you to spend money on like an in-app purchase. I really think it's dumb. I've talked about that in previous videos, but it makes sense. I say so very begrudgingly. But the third and less obvious piece of content to monetize are new minis and heroes and a complete reworked progression experience. As the game is right now, it's really easy to unlock new minis and heroes. Like, so easy, right? Which is a good thing, and it makes a lot of sense if they want to monetize power. But now that they are no longer going to be monetizing power, I don't think it makes sense anymore, because while cosmetics are a fun reward to work towards and can be the reason why some people will come back to the game, it's not enough to get people to keep coming back, at least not most players, right? Unlocking new cosmetics is nowhere near as exciting as unlocking actual new minis and actual new heroes. Working towards unlocking those new heroes and minis is the most exciting part of the game. And it made sense for them to unlock quick and fast when you also had to then spend time upgrading them to actually be able to use them. But since that's no longer the case, I think that it makes a lot of sense for them to slow down how quickly you unlock new minis and heroes. I know maybe you guys don't like the idea of that, but at the same time, just imagine you'll unlock it, and as soon as it's unlocked, boom, maxed out, ready to go. And when I say slow down that progression, I mean a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean that rather than unlocking every troop in a month or two like you can do now, I think it should take like a year or more to unlock every troop, just compared to like other Supercell games or like just other games in general that are free to play, right? At least for free to play players, a year or longer, it just seems to make sense. Because once you unlock every single one of them, once again, they're maxed out, they're competitive, you can have them forever. Like, that's more exciting, and it gives you a reason to actually log in every day, because then when you unlock that new troop, boom, fun and exciting. You get a brand new troop that's maxed out, you can play it, you get the idea. Now, the less obvious way that they can actually monetize this here is just sell straight up minis and heroes. When there's a new mini release, boom, you can just buy it for this amount of gems or this amount of money, right? Like, it's there. And if you don't want to buy it, just play the game regularly and try and unlock it over time. After all, once you unlock them, they're completely maxed out and can immediately be used in any deck, right? But that brings up another issue. Clash Mini does not have enough heroes and minis to justify having to play the game for a year as a free-to-play player to just have all of them unlocked. Now I'm going to talk about Brawl Stars just for a little bit, but this is just for reference here, okay? On my free-to-play account in Brawl Stars, I haven't even been playing for a full year yet, and I have 50 brawlers unlocked. Clash Mini doesn't even have 50 characters in the game. So if they're going to make a new free-to-play experience satisfying enough to play the game for years, which is Supercell's goal, they have to figure out some way to crank out their mini production. Like, we need a lot more minis, like a lot more. After all, unlocking minis isn't even as exciting as unlocking a brawler in Brawl Stars. In Brawl Stars, when you unlock a new brawler, it completely changes your entire gameplay strategy. When you play that brawler, it's all about that brawl. You have brand new mechanics, brand new abilities. When you unlock a new mini, it changes maybe 1/6 of your deck, right? Now I wouldn't say that minis are 1/6 as exciting as a new brawler. They're definitely fun and exciting, but the game really needs more minis if they're going to successfully create a satisfying progression experience that rivals Brawl Stars, because their new progression experience is going to include maxed power minis as soon as they are unlocked. Right now there are 11 heroes and 29 minis, which comes to 40 total characters. I don't know how they're going to like rework progression for sure, but 40 characters, it just does not sound like quite enough. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But if they're planning on going global, which I'm sure that they are, I would hope for a lot more. Once again, this is entirely speculation on my part when it comes to how they'll actually rework progression and monetize it. I do not claim to have all the answers or anything like that. I'm not even a game developer. I can guarantee you that everything I've said in this video is something that the Clash Mini developer team has already thought of, probably had multiple discussions of, and landed on something that might even be a better solution than what I suggested. But given what they have told us, the suggestion that I've given, I think makes a lot of sense, at least to me. Now, all this is going to take some time. They are completely redesigning the whole progression experience. They're removing monetization from power. They're figuring out how to solve a lot of issues to prepare for the game to go global. Hopefully, they're trying to crank up their mini production somehow. And they're probably working on a whole lot of stuff they haven't even made public yet. So this is going to take some time. And on Smol Talk, they said to watch out for future developments over the next few months. And I will be covering everything as soon as I'm able to on this channel. So subscribe for more mini news. We'll see you in the next video.